So welcome everyone. I am so pumped. If you don't know me, my name is Samantha Dreiling. I'm on my mother-in-law Christy's account, so we have to thank her for letting us use her Zoom because she has like way more room for more people to come on. So I'm super excited for everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll give you a little bit of a intro to this call and this series because I think it's so exciting. I think it's going to be an absolute game changer for so many people in our company and our big Arbonne family. And that's really what this is all about, right? We're all in this together and we're truly better together. I'm inspired and have been inspired for the last almost 10 years of my journey by people all around the globe in this company. So this call series is really about building each other's belief. It's about owning your story, loving your story, and sharing your story. And it's about rising together. So if you're on this call, you've obviously claimed that you're ready to take things to the next level, to build your belief, to do the activity, to get to work, and to show up as your best version and show up in your business and show up and serve people. And hopefully we'll be celebrating you at GTC as a new VP or a new area manager or a new nation. So I know that this is just going to bring so much good to everyone in our company. And I'm just so excited for what we're going to create together here for the next 5 months. So yay! I'm so excited for our first speaker, Erum Farooqi, who is going to be sharing her journey and just her shifts. This is really about her, like hearing the people's shifts, right? When I was promoting to RVP last year, I just wanted to know, like, what do I have to do and what are the shifts from where I've been and felt stuck at for so many years to the next level that I wanted so badly. And so I was always looking for calls and people's stories that could inspire that belief within me that would help me to just know that I could do it too. So Erum is going to kick us off, and her story is just so incredible, and her heart is so beautiful. And if you have not heard her yet, you're in for a serious treat. I just think the whole world, and especially the whole Arbonne world, needs to hear just from this beautiful soul. So I'm going to let her tell you guys her journey and share her inspiration and just get us started. So just make sure you guys mute yourself if you're popping on, and let's go. There you go. Welcome, 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 Erum. I love you, and go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Samantha, for such a beautiful introduction. And thank you for creating like this initiative. I mean, like, trust me, whether you're a VP, already a VP, or you're not a VP, everyone needs this because our business is very simple. Like, everybody is doing the same thing. So you already know the stuff that we are doing. The only shift, and I'm so like proud of you, like it's such young age, you have the wisdom to understand the only shift that happens is in your mind, is the belief that that differentiates you from other people, because everybody goes through struggles, everybody will hit different obstacles. But as I tell my team, in this whole business is a mind game. So last person standing wins the game. So whoever like stay in the business regardless any obstacle, any difficulty, they will win eventually, right? So it's a matter of how much you want this. So before I like share my story, to tell you that how what helped me and kept going, but I just want each one of you to write down I'm going to ask two questions, and then you don't need to tell me right now, but like visualize them and write down your answer for it. So my first question is, what is your ultimate goal? What is your dream? What that win looks like, that you will feel, okay, this is it, I have accomplished it. I want you to write it down and be as specific as possible. So for me, when I started last year, that was like something that was non-negotiable for me. Like, you can create income in a lot of other professions as well, but for me the winning was that I wanted to create that financial independence without compromising my time with my daughters. That was a non-negotiable thing, and I was looking and for something that can give me that. So you need to say, okay, this is what I'm looking for, and this is like too precious for me. And the second question, and write down the answer for that again, and you can think through the presentation, like, is what is that one thing in your mind that is stopping you from going for it? What is that one obstacle that you think? And it can be a genuine reason, like it can be physical, it can be a mindset, it can be confident, whatever it is, that one thing, the major cause for you not achieving it, and write it down. Because when you write it down, it becomes very tangible, and your mind is a very, very powerful thing. It will believe whatever you feed it. So I really want you to write it down, and then I'll start. And in the end, we will connect everything back to the story. So my journey, I mean, like, this is a very a kind of emotional month for me. And I, first of all, I apologize for my mommy brain, because I almost canceled today's call. I was looking for other VPs to cover for me, because my younger daughter is very sick and I have to take her to emerge after this call. But I started my Arbonne journey last year exactly around this time. So I just celebrated my 1 year anniversary with Arbonne on October 2nd, so 22nd. So I was almost 2.5 weeks old consultant and newly promoted district manager. So anyone on this call who wants to be a VP by GTC, or like area manager or RVP or NVP, it's possible, because I was one person team at this time last year, and I was a VP by GTC. So you still have a lot of time. So don't think, oh, we are starting now, but no, you have a lot of time, and the only person who can make it happen is you. So what really helped me, going was, so I'm a single mom of 2 daughters, and I found Arbonne in the most darkest time in my life. I was literally hopeless, and yeah, I almost lost hope. I was lost, and I was going through that trauma and didn't know what to do. And so I have been fighting a very nasty, very difficult divorce and custody battle for last 4 years, which left me literally homeless. And anything that you can think of, anything, I have seen it in my case, and I'm still going through it. It's nothing has changed on that end. So I'm still going through it, like anything, any adversity you can think of, even to the extent that death threats, everything, like the physical, mental abuse, anything that you can think, it happened. But what kept me going was my daughters. And I think that's why we always start our Arbonne journey with your why story, right? So you need to make sure that your why is very strong enough. So I was going through that, and so we were like kicked out of home. I was living in a shelter with my 2 daughters. My daughters was only 2 and 3 years old. And I just didn't know what to do. Again, for me, the biggest thing was I didn't want to put them in a daycare. And I had a huge corporate career before I got married, and I used to work for a big multinational company, and I traveled all over the world. I had good education, but there was nothing in the marketplace that was offering me that I could be with my kids and still work and create that income. It was only if I can, even if I'm lucky enough to get a job, because throughout after my marriage I did not work. So which is quite common in our culture, to be a full-time stay-at-home mom. And so I had a huge gap on my resume. So even if I had gotten a job, there was no way I was able to be with my daughter. Like, it will be 9 to 5 kind of job, and they were small. By the time I'll pick them up from daycare, then it's time to go to bed. There was no bonding, and that was something non-negotiable for me. So I didn't know about Arbonne, so I started searching what can I do from home. So only thing I could think of was cooking. So I started, studying about nutrition. I became a certified vegan chef, and I opened my own catering business. It was a home-based business, and it was also an organic, vegan, healthy food. And that was going well for 2 years. And as when I was establishing myself for that business, um, because I was stuck in a city where I had no family and friends. So my parents actually came from Pakistan to help me. So even when in the beginning, when whatever business you want to establish in the beginning, be ready and be committed to make those sacrifices for the long-term gain, right? So that's why it's very important to have that long-term crystal clear vision. So it maybe in the beginning when I was trying to establish my business, I was not spending as much time with my daughters as I much, I would like to, but that was, I knew was temporary. But anyway, so what happened was it was going well. It took me 2 years to establish, and then eventually last year in October, um, my mother was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of cancer, and that changed everything again for me. So because she became very dependent, and then doctors asked us to um, either to put her in a nursing home or a palliative care. And I was just again very stubborn about it, and again non-negotiable thing. I said, if I didn't put my kids in a daycare, how can I leave my parents in a nursing home? So I stopped my business, and my income stopped overnight. I had no income, and that was a huge risk I took, because I could have lost my kids' custody, because the legal opposition was trying to show that I'm not financially stable to take care of my daughter. So I had that pressure. So I was almost like at the verge of hitting a nerve. I knew what I didn't want, but I didn't know how to get what I want. So I didn't have that vehicle or tool, to me. And can you imagine? Nobody told me about Arbonne. So that's why, imagine how important you are in the process. Imagine if you can save a person, one person like me, and be that source of comfort for that person. And like what Arbonne has done for me, like if you can be that person for somebody else who's struggling and have no idea how to, overcome with life difficulties. Like I can't even imagine what my life would look like if I didn't find Arm, right? So anyways, what happened was that I started. So I still didn't know about Arbonne. Nobody approached me. I started looking for products for my mom after her diagnosis. I was changing her diet and lifestyle, and I was looking for clean products. And how you Google something, and then that thing starts showing up on your Facebook, and that's exactly what happened. I found Arbonne products, and then my sponsor, Sheila Malik, her name showed up on my Facebook account. I didn't know her. She lives in Toronto. I was in Edmonton. I never met her before. I just messaged her on Messenger saying that, hey, I see you're an Arbonne consultant. I want to order these products for my mom. And she sent me her number. We connected, and after hearing my story, she said, why don't you open your own store, start your own business, and buy it from there? And initially I said, no, I can't, because I am not in a position where I can physically commit to anything, because I'm mostly in the hospital, living in the hospital 95% of the time. And she said, you can do it from anywhere. And that's the only thing that she said, she can do it from anywhere. So I was like, how we have all seen that movie Jerry Maguire, You Had Me at Hello. So that I didn't even hear the business presentation. I said, okay, sign me up. And I signed up the same day. I didn't, I was doing whatever she was telling me. And then I became a district manager in 1 week. And I still didn't know about the business. And again, this point also I will come back to that. Are you Another important thing we need to ask ourselves, are we pretending to be an Arbonne brand ambassador, or we are actually being an Arbonne brand ambassador? Because sometimes we are doing everything right on the paper, but we really don't believe in what we are doing, right? So that is very, very important. So I was doing the business, I was working hard and everything. So November, I bonus my district, and December, my mother got very critical, so I almost like disappeared from the business. So my sales were zero, and I just like, I didn't do anything, and I didn't even like talk to anybody. I was completely like out of it. And January was the time when I remember on the New Year Eve, my mother got a little bit stable. No, it was January 2nd. January, like New Year Eve, we like entire like month until January 1st, we spent it in a ER. Like she was so critical that we didn't know if she will make it. So January 2nd was the day when they told us, she's stable. They moved us to a room. And I always had my laptop and phone with me. So um, I started, I remember that day there was a training arranged by Canadian Home Office, and it was hosted by Laura Murphy and Jessica Garsh. And it was to help us how to kick the 2019 stronger. And so once she was stable, I just set up, my office was in the hospital, so I knew like my drill. I think all the nurses knew my DA by heart by the time we left the hospital, because I will be on phone all day. So I I plugged into that training, and I am so glad, because that training was basically life changing for me. And as I was listening to all the speakers, one of the guest speaker was Annie Graft, and I don't know why, but when she said something like that, that she was a district manager last year in January 2018, and she finished the year as a national vice president, like December 2018. And I don't know why that resonated with me. And I was like, okay, this is January 2019. I am a district manager. So if she can do this, I can do this too. So that one moment literally, again, nothing physical, nothing tangible, but something changed in my mind. I was like, okay, I decided in that moment that I'm going to give it my best, and without looking at the results, unconditional, and see what happens. So 1 year was the, I think for me in my situation, I think time period was the most critical thing, because I didn't have the option, because I was not doing it as a hobby, it was not a side thing for me. And I needed that proof where I could feel, okay, I'm okay to work hard, but can I expect those results? So absolutely, you can see those results, but willing to put in that effort too. So like when we say change your mindset, also when you change your mindset, okay, I'm going to be a vice president by GTC, or if I'm going to be vice president in next 2 months or next year, change your actions too. Just changing your mindset does not help. What is your action? What is you going to do in your actions that is going to get you to that level? So for me, it was like, okay, no matter what, I have no control over my circumstances. So I was working from the hospital. The only thing I could do from the hospital was online, on the phone, one-on-one coffee dates. That's it. I couldn't do the drop-offs, I couldn't do the launches, I couldn't do anything else, because physically I was very limited. So, and the reason I'm sharing this with you is like, whatever your limitations are, I'm not saying your life is very easy and like you, no, you will have your own struggles, but find a way around those struggles. Because let's say, even if you have the most genuine, like if I had stopped in that moment, nobody would have asked me, Erum, why did you do that? People would have understood, okay, no, I'm going through difficult time, and I'm going through divorce, I'm going through, like, my mom is really sick, and my kids are very like upset by, like, going through all this trauma. I'm very upset, and if I don't work, people will understand. But what do I do with that people's understanding? That's not going to pay my bills, that is not going to lead me anywhere, that was not helping my children. So you need to understand. I'm saying, I don't like, sometimes I'm very hard on my team, and they feel like I'm not understanding their issue. I am understanding your issue, but the thing is, the only person getting affected by that issue is, again, just you. Nobody will come to help you even if you stop. So that was the mindset I had in that moment. That if I, because what do you do with that sympathy? Like, I was like, okay, I don't even have time to feel sympathetic about myself. I just need to keep going, because I had a deadline, because we had a court date in January, and at the same time there was next one coming up right around GTC. After, even at GTC, I was working on my, from there I was having on the phone my meetings with my lawyer, and then we had, after I came back from Vegas, and we had a big court date, and I was like, oh my God, in that court date they will bring up the issue again that I am not financially stable, so I need to do something big. So there were so many other factors. So that's why in that moment, even though it was hard, I just kept going. I went into this psycho crazy activity mode. Like, I'm telling you, I did not stop talking. I will do it. When we say it's a part-time opportunity, yes, it is. But when you are looking for something extraordinary, you have to put in the extraordinary effort. So it's like, when you're going to school, and in the class there are two students, one wants to just pass the course and one wants an A+. Their activity will look different. You cannot study like a average passing student and say, I want an A+, right? Same thing, if you want something big, you need to do more for that, right? Because it doesn't come free for anybody who has already achieved that level or is higher. I have so much respect for them, because that means, one, they have put in a lot of effort into it, and the second, and a lot of sacrifices. And the second, in our bond, what I love about this company is that, what is the difference between an area manager and district manager? It basically, area manager has helped more people. RVP and area manager. So RVP has helped more people than an area manager. And same thing with an NVP, national vice president, has helped so many, may more people than an RVP. So your motivation should be like, okay, not just to get to the title, not the title. Like, I want to have that sense of urgency that I want to help as many people as possible. So when you will have that kind of servant, leadership part, you will not be affected by listening to even 10, 50, 100 no's, because like, look at, like, remember my story as well, like what this has done for me, and imagine if you can do this for somebody else. So I don't focus, like, do you think we don't hear no's, like people who are VPs? No, we hear no's all the time, and people laugh at us all the time. There is no difference. Like, the only difference is, again, your mindset. Keep going. So in that moment when I decided, I called my sponsor right away and I said, hey, I want to go into area call this month. And she said, sure. So and that's it. Your sponsor is there to guide you, to help you, but again, if you have to put in the effort. So I started, like, and I built my entire team completely online. So social media, I will post something, people will write negative remarks. I think we are all familiar with that. I will delete it, post it again. Why do I take it personally, right? I will find another group and post it there. Like, because I couldn't stop. The thing is that one person's opinion is playing with my children's life, right? So why should I, if I stop right now, either that, then that person wins. Not just about, like, whatever ignorant opinion they have about our business, but that person, why should I give control to that person over my life? And then I finished the area call. I think end of them, I didn't have anybody, like no district managers under me. I just have, I think, I don't remember, one person or two people signed up towards the end. And then February, again, we finished the area, and again, my team was very little, like 2 people or something, but I was doing the activity. And that's why we say in our business, there's a 90-day activity cycle. So keep doing what you're doing, you're planting the seeds. And I think that's what happened, because January, I went into that crazy activity mode. I didn't have anything to show. I didn't have a lot of people on my team. But March, my team started, like, growing like crazy. Like, I had people signing up left and right, and it was all like those follow-ups. And, like, I think it's also, I also strongly believe in law of attraction. So everything was, coming into place. But one thing that was consistent was my mindset. So another thing, I love this quote by Winston Churchill. He says that, success is the ability to go from failure to failure, from one failure to another failure, with same enthusiasm, right? So we are, like, sometime on my team, people will come, they will attend a car party, and they'll say, oh, I want to be VP, I want my Benz by, like, 3-4 months. And then 1 week into the business, they're like, I don't think it's for me, nothing is working, nobody's saying yes. And I was like, okay. Like, what, like, you're letting other people give so much control over your dreams? Like, you're going to let other person decide whether you will be successful in this business or not? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. If I believe I'd not be successful in this, it makes sense to me, okay. That, but somebody else telling me, it doesn't make sense to me. So that's why, like, that's why I'm saying, you need to understand what is it that stopping you from believing that you can do this. March 1st, I was a brand new area manager. I called my sponsor again and said, hey, I don't want to stop, I want to go into region call. And she was like, sure. Again, they're there to guide you and help you, but it's you who has to put in the activity. I was working again like crazy. And that so we went into region call. That was okay. Because, as I said, people started signing up, and I started seeing the result of all that activity. But when April came, that was the toughest month for me. I mean, like, finishing region call was, like, so hard that I think I cannot nothing. I have never experienced anything as hard as that, because in that month we had our holy month of Ramadan, so people just stopped buying nutrition, and like, you know, they were fasting, and they were, it's like Christmas, they go into that holiday mode, so nobody was even responding to our calls. And my own consultants, they were like also, oh, we are praying, we are doing this. So they were like, you know, again, everybody has different priorities. So let's say you cannot expect other people to be committed to your goal the way you are, right? It was only me. So if I had listened to like person A, B, C, I was like, oh, she's not motivated, she is doing this, so I will also do that. No, it's not going to help. I have to still like stay focused and committed to my goal the way what I said I'm gonna do. So even like we were so behind, my sponsor said like, what? And I was so stressed. My sponsor said like, you know, you have 3 months to finish your goal, you can finish it next month. But in my head the thing was, again, we had GTC. So my vision was like, no, I want to walk the stage, like have that, you know, goal very crystal clear in your head. And I knew that if I finished that qualification in that month, it's not just walking the stage, what is going to symbolize for my community, like it is going to build their belief into the business. So we wanted to show that to them, like what is possible with this. And also, as I said, after GTC I had my legal you know, court date also. So I wanted to be somewhere, like rather than saying I'm still in the process. So the last day of the month, we were 23K behind. The last day of the month when we woke up, and only 2 people on my team were working, who were 2 girls who were trying to finish their area. That's it. So in that moment, I had the like, you know, I could have stopped and said, okay, nobody's working, okay, I will see. No, never stop till the last minute, and then always revise your goal once the deadline is passed. But even if there's 1 minute left, keep going for it. Like, for instance, for me, I said like I try to be an MVP like any grad by December 2019. Yes, if you look at my numbers, I'm way behind, but I'm not going to look at it until December is passed, and then I'm going to reset my new goal, right? But not before that. I will still work as if it's still possible. So that is something I'm asking you to do, is like keep whatever your goal is, don't change it until the deadline is passed. Okay, so even if there's 1 minute left in the cutoff time, still a miracle can happen. I believe in miracles, so believe in miracles, believe in yourself. So we were able to finish it, and then that was something very huge. And like it literally changed my life, not just financially but also a lot of ways. I mean, I nobody ever no one ever saw me. Like I never no, I never met anyone on my team, including my sponsor. For the Zoom calls, I only did audio calls. I was so conscious of myself. I literally hated myself. It's like if they will see me, they will not even join me. That's how much I hated myself after going through that trauma, because throughout my marriage, I was told that I am not good enough, I am a failure, I'm a zero. And I started believing in it. And that's something it's I still struggle with. I mean, I don't know if you notice, every time now when I open the Zoom call, it's my video me little bit time. I count till 3 and then I start my video, because it else can help you. Okay. And emotionally, like I feel now Arbonne has taught me how to dream again, which I completely back on my feet, not financially, but also now be present in my kids' life. I don't have to ask anyone, not even for one day, that can I be with my daughters, or can I be with my mom, because she was in the hospital all the time, and I never left her alone even for one night. So all that was possible, like, you know, with Arbonne. And that's what I'm saying, all these things are still going on in my life. My divorce, my custody battle, and then my mom's treatment is still ongoing. Like yesterday we were in the hospital all day, and then we were doing more tests and scans. Like she just finished her treatment like 1 year with Arbonne, because that's when I started. And then again, like she's like feeling another lump, and then we had to go back the entire thing all over again. But so it's very scary. It's very the life things, as I'm saying, all those things, struggles will continue, and everybody has a different struggle. But one thing that I makes me feel I'm not scared anymore. I feel like, okay, whatever it is, Arbonne will take care of it. That's the mindset I have. And Arbonne can, seriously. When it's just that a matter of your belief, you need to believe in it. And so I did that. And not only we were able to get back on my feet financially, fight the case, we're still fighting strong. And then also, you know, now people who laughed at me in the beginning when I started the business, because I don't look the most healthiest person, and I don't look like a, okay, this somebody who's from health and wellness, that typical look that people associate with. The same people actually, after they like, and we always hear from like our upline, they're watching you, so keep going. So they came into my business on their own. I never approached them again. They reached out to me. So that is another thing, like, this business works only if you work. So if you stop working, everything will stop, right? But if you continue, everything will fall into place. And if you look at like all the so most successful people in the world, they were all called crazy in the beginning. So think like you are going to be the more people call you crazy, that means you're going to be really successful and you're doing something right. So have that kind of mindset and like keep going. And yeah, so I was like, imagine I'll be taking, my kids are so excited. We in the process that even I didn't even think about it. I almost because December was zero when people said like, you have incentive trip and you will double your points. So there was nothing to double in December. I had 0 points, but I was able to win the trip. So I will be taking my kids for our first family vacation because of thanks to Arbonne. And when I started the business, I was mostly in the hospital. So another thing that I was struggling with was the car, because my kids were missing a lot of school, and that was also being used against in the court that, I'm not a good mother and I'm not taking care of them properly. But I was always in the hospital, and that we only had one car. So my dad and me decided that we're going to buy another secondhand used car, anything that's moving, and we are going to, so he can drive them to school. But we couldn't find anything, we couldn't afford anything. And I just managed with a taxi, or they still missed school. I just, there's certain things, as I said, you cannot control, right? So stay focused on your goal, because your adversity should push you even more towards you what you're doing, right? So that's what happened. Was like, okay, now I don't have money, so more of a reason I need to work harder to save that much. And 6 months into the business, then I was able to pick a brand new Mercedes because of Arbonne, and driving that as my second car. Like which other company you can do that, right? So but it didn't happen easily. You cannot say, okay, you cannot be motivated for one day or 1 week or only during your successes. You have to stay motivated during your failures too, and when nothing is going as planned. And the final thing that really impacted me, and that is the fuel for my like growth, I mean, like if I look at it, okay, I say, okay, I can now be easy and like rest, and because I have accomplished my goal, whatever it was. And no, but the thing is, because of Arbonne, we were able to raise like more than now $30,000 worth of donation, and we gave back to the same shelter that helped me and my kids with food and accommodation. And that was the biggest impact of Arbonne, and that really drives me, that I really want to like maximize my potential. Am I doing enough? Because there's so many people who need me, and that's something you need to find. You need to find a purpose bigger than you, because that will keep you going, help you keep going when nothing is working. Okay, the thing is, we only, when we have a shorter goal, it's like, okay, I want this new car, or want this goal, I want certain income, that is not motivating enough to keep you going. You need to find really big, and it has to be emotional, it has to be non-negotiable for you. And that's what happened. So the biggest thing, the three major tips that I will give you is, first of all, you need to win in your mindset. that game or that battle is won first in your mindset. You need to believe what you're doing, you need to believe in what you're doing, and you need to believe in yourself. Nobody else will believe in you, and nobody else will believe. You cannot expect them to believe in your purpose and in yourself. Do you believe in other people, like to be there for your, like serve you? No, you are the one. You have to believe in yourself. So the first thing that I give my team always is, anybody who starts on my team, they get the assignment to watch the documentary called The Secret, and that is to build their belief in themselves. You have to watch it, you have to read the book, and you have to be positive. As I said in the beginning, that your mind is the most powerful thing. It will believe, or it will believe anything that you will feed to it. So that's why you have to stay positive. And that's where the other thing comes, that you need to do the positive affirmations every day. Doesn't matter how stupid you look or sound, you need to do it. You can say I am a Bill Gates, or you say I am the strongest, or I'm the most powerful person. Whatever it is, you have to do it. And you, what will happen, it will your brain will start building that belief. The second thing is your personal development. So your brain needs to feel competent to trigger confidence into your body. So that's where your personal growth comes into. You need to tune into all the team meetings, the trainings, and you attending this is also a sign that you want to change whatever it is, and build yourself as a person and as a professional. So you need to do that personal development. And if I have to give you, there's so many in non-urban things to listen to, different podcasts and everything. If specifically from GTC, from this specific goal perspective, I have to give you a couple of trainings, and listen to number one requirement, is recommendation is Ashley Strong's training on time management. It's on YouTube. It is a life-changing training. Number two is Ian Pitchard's training on how to handle objections. That's a must for every consultant to watch. And these are the things, again, I share with my team. Just this is, again, not to change anyone's system, to build your belief. That helped me to build my belief. And the third one is I listened to every SoundCloud and video training by Debbie Neal, but one that really helped me was the Power of Passion. She was the keynote at CNTC last year, and that's also on YouTube. And I think that's a must watch for everyone. And Cecilia Stoll's Next Level Leadership, must listen to that training. And some of these training I listen to like again and again. Like you will go back, and like after a month or two, again you are like feeling low or something, I will go back to whatever is my favorite training, I will listen to it again. And then recently at the CNTC, Kelly GT's training was just awesome. I mean, like she was so real about it. It was the whole truth. Like it looked very perfect from the outside, but it is not as perfect as you think. And everything always looks perfect for other people. So that's why, like, she was trying to show. That's another training I think every consultant should watch, because my house also in those days when I was trying to go region, I don't think I will ever let even a cleaning lady enter my house. That's how embarrassed I was. And it was a mess. And especially the paperwork and the, I didn't file my taxes. And I'm not saying you should not do that too, but I'm just saying in that moment, that what was important to me, I was just focused. I was obsessed with my goal. And I don't have a fancy office. I mean, like I was working either from my hospital room, or when I was driving my kids to school from the car, or this room. I mean, like this is my, I don't know, it's bad. Like this is my kids, where my kids sleep, and this is my office here. That's it. I don't have anything fancy, and you don't have to. You can do this business from anywhere, from whatever you are doing. And the third and I think I said the trainings I talked about. And the last thing is focus on your strengths and magnify your strengths. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. Whatever your strength is, and you will learn about those strengths by trying different things. So don't be afraid of failing, right? Try different things. Like I heard somebody say, it was some businessman, I don't remember the name, but he said, fail fast and cheap. So in the beginning, when the stakes are low, try more different things and fail, and then figure out what is it that works for you. So that's something I would recommend. Like even if you're a brand new consultant, district manager, whatever you're starting, just try what is it that you are losing by asking people. You just need to like try different things, whatever, because different things will work for you. The only thing that is going to be stay, I said, is consistent with everyone who has been successful in the business, is a no matter attitude, is the that fixed mindset, obsessive mindset, right? So that you need to do that. And now let's go back to the two questions, I asked you to answer in the beginning. So um, does anybody want to volunteer? If not, I don't want to put anyone on the spot. Like, anybody wants to volunteer? No, that's okay. But mostly it's like, whatever that goal is, that should be written down big on your wall in front of you, and it should be visual. I can bet right now, even 80% of the people, we all have heard about vision board, but 80% of the people still haven't done the vision board. So that, well, you don't have to make a fancy vision board. It can be just one picture, that one thing that is the most important thing to you, visualize it and put it right in front of you. And now that one thing that is stopping you, let's say if it's your if you are going through a very difficult lifetime transition, or or some kind of even health issues or personal issues or emotional issues, whatever it is, if that's what's stopping you, then keep it side by side. Right now, see, these two are competing with each other, and then you decide whether this wins your excuse. And I don't want to say excuse, or they were challenging circumstances, it can be as real as you can think of, or you want your dream to win. Okay, so if you are letting your fear or your circumstance to win, so you are supporting it. But if you want your dream to win, you have to support your dream no matter what. So that is something that I do. I mean, like, even when there's a hard time, and I also, like, there are days I don't even want to get out of my room or like talk to anybody and anything, but things that you have to do, you have to do, right? So that was all I think I wanted to share. I don't know if it makes sense, but again, I think the other mistake we make is we're always looking for that one tip or secret recipe, that what is it. There is no secret in this business, especially. It's simple math. And that is another thing I think I learned from I watched this training by Peyton, and she starts her training by saying, guys, there is no secret. The secret is that I'm doing more of what you are doing. So that's the thing. Like, if I've signed up 5 consultant on my team in first week, that means I talk to maybe 100 people in my first week. So you need to go and be in front of as many people as possible, but with a lot of pride. Don't think in your head, again, I think just one thing I will clarify: don't pretend to be a brand ambassador of Arbonne. Actually believe in it. And yeah, so to believe in what you are doing and how you're changing people's life, the other two documentaries I would like you to watch, and I also gave it as a first assignment, is Fork Over Knives on Netflix, and now the new one that just came out, The Game Changer. It's a must watch for everyone, like, seriously. And that's how you build your belief in yourself and in your business. Like, when I talk to somebody, even they're looking at me like a crazy, like I'm somebody very crazy, or like, because in our community, people don't believe in like this vegan and organic. People, like, we're meat eaters, right? So even chicken is a vegetable. So but the thing is, I know firsthand impact, how it has changed my life, how it has impacted my mom's life. Just to give you an idea, how Arbonne, like, it can be a testimonial to Arbonne products. So when my mom got her first chemo last year, she got very sick, to the point that she was in isolation all the time in the hospital. Her immune system completely collapsed. So I didn't know about Arbonne. So over the period of time, slowly, when I found out about Arbonne, I started believing in Arbonne nutrition. I changed her diet through Arbonne nutrition. She's still going through treatment, but last 6 months, yes, she didn't have even one hospitalization because of the chemo treatment. And I strongly believe it is because of the diet and the nutrition that Arbonne 30 has done for her. So I don't think that I am wasting someone's time when I go. I really want them. I don't want them to, because I've seen my mom has suffering it firsthand. I don't want anyone else to go through that pain. So then fear of them saying no to me is means nothing to me. So that's why you need to, go and feel proud what you are telling other people. It's changing their life either physically or financially and emotionally. So thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, Erum, I mean, everyone is just, can you guys all unmute yourselves and like give her a seriously huge round of applause?
Yes.
Absolutely
Great
amazing. Girl.
See, that's
I
why
mean, I'm like trying not to cry the whole time. Every time I hear you speak, I just get so emotional because you're the heart of Arbonne, and this is what it's all about, you guys. We need to go share this, and thank you for being such a beautiful example of just what it takes and what's possible. And can everyone just raise your hand up if you're ready to throw your excuses out the window? I mean, come on. So inspiring. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you, Erum, for showing up for us. Now you go take care of your beautiful baby girl. I can't even believe that you hopped on here with that going on. So you go do that. Thank you from all of us. You are absolutely amazing. And we'll see you guys next week. Let's build this.
Bye.
Bye.